Let me paint a picture that'll hit close to home. You're rushing to work, already running late, when that dreaded check engine light flickers on. Your stomach drops. You know the repair is probably around $300, but your account? $47 until payday. So you do what millions of people do. You ignore it. Crank the music. Hope for the best. Fast forward 8 weeks, that $300 fix you couldn't afford, now your engine's seized on the freeway. Tow truck, $180. The damaged part wrecked your transmission, $2,200. Missed work while dealing with it, $350 in lost wages. A $300 problem just became a $2,700 disaster. This isn't bad luck. This is a financial trap with a formula. It's the measurable, predictable cost of having no cushion. I'm simple, and I obsess over the invisible forces that keep people financially stuck, the equations nobody teaches you in school. If you feel like you're grinding harder every year, but your savings never grow, if one unexpected bill could unravel your entire month, stick around and drop a like if this resonates. Today, we're not discussing investment strategies or side hustles. We're exposing something more fundamental, why having no money actually costs you more money.
Most money advice misses the point entirely. Gurus preach discipline. They blame your coffee habit, skip the latte, cancel your subscriptions, as if $15 a month is the difference between poverty and prosperity. This advice ignores a brutal economic reality that author Terry Pratchett captured perfectly through a character named Sam Vimes. Here's the concept. Two people need boots. The wealthy one spends $50 on quality leather boots. They last a decade. The broke one can only scrape together $10 for cheap boots. They disintegrate in a year. After 10 years, the broke person spent $100, double, and still has wet feet every winter. The wealthy person stayed dry and kept $50 in their pocket. This is the arithmetic of poverty. You pay a premium for lacking capital.
Think this only applies to footwear? Look around your life. Toilet paper. Sounds absurd, but follow me here. With $50 to spare, you hit the warehouse store. Bulk pack, maybe 40 cents per roll, set for months. Living check to check, you've got $5. Corner store 4-pack at $1.25 per roll. You're paying triple for identical paper simply because you couldn't afford to stock up. This is the poverty surcharge. It applies to cleaning supplies, diapers, especially diapers, canned goods, basically every non-perishable item in your home. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If you're broke, your personal inflation rate is actually higher than wealthy people's. You're permanently locked out of bulk savings. Now, let's discuss something that genuinely infuriates me. How banks treat you based on your balance. $10,000 in checking? You're royalty. No fees. Maybe some perks. $25 in checking? A forgotten $30 subscription hits. You're now negative $5. Does the bank extend some grace? Of course not. They slap you with a $35 overdraft charge. Calculate the effective interest rate on that. You borrowed $5 for a day and paid $35. That's a 700% APR. Loan sharks get arrested for less. Banks collected billions last year in overdraft penalties, almost entirely from people with under $1,000 in their accounts. The wealthy earn interest. The broke pay interest. It's an upward wealth transfer disguised as account maintenance. Just don't spend what you don't have. Easy to say from comfort. But here's what research reveals. Genuine financial stress, not knowing how you'll cover rent, temporarily reduces cognitive function by roughly 13 points. That's equivalent to pulling an all-nighter. Your brain becomes so consumed with immediate survival that long-term thinking becomes nearly impossible. This explains why struggling people sometimes make choices that seem irrational from the outside. The payday loan, the lottery ticket, the fast food instead of groceries. It's not stupidity.
It's a brain operating at maximum capacity just to survive today. The wealthy person doesn't just save money on quality purchases, they save mental bandwidth. That cognitive space gets reinvested into opportunities, learning, building. The broke person is trapped in perpetual low-grade crisis mode.
Let's scale up from boots to something that devastates millions: automobiles. In most of America, no car means no job, period. Someone with resources buys a 3-year-old Honda, pays $18,000 cash or finances at 4%, drives it reliably for a decade with basic maintenance. Someone with damaged credit and empty savings, they need transportation now to earn money. They end up at a predatory buy here, pay here lot. The dealer sells them a high-mileage vehicle worth maybe $4,500 for $9,000. Interest rate, 22%. Run the numbers over the loan term, they'll pay $16,000 for a car worth $4,500. And that car will probably die before the loan does, leaving them making payments on a paperweight while scrambling to finance another. This is the poverty cycle in sharp focus. You're not just buying transportation, you're paying a risk premium because the system labeled you risky. And escaping that label requires money you can't accumulate because you're paying the premium.
Renting versus owning might be the ultimate example. Rent is 100% expense, zero equity. You're funding your landlord's mortgage plus their profit margin. But purchasing requires a down payment, $15,000, $25,000, maybe more. If rent consumes half your income because housing costs are astronomical, saving that down payment becomes mathematically impossible. So you're stuck paying $2,100 monthly for an apartment that would cost $1,400 as a mortgage payment. The person with capital buys, reduces their monthly overhead, and gains an appreciating asset. The person without capital pays more monthly for something they'll never own. Being broke means renting your entire existence, renting shelter, renting money through interest, renting stability itself. There's another hidden cost: your hours. Consider laundry. Washer and dryer at home, 5 minutes of active effort. Load it, walk away. Laundromat, $6.25 plus 2 hours of your life, traveling, waiting, returning. Time you can't spend working, resting, or with people you love. Value that time at minimum wage and the true cost becomes staggering. Or consider food access. Low-income neighborhoods often lack proper grocery stores. You've got overpriced convenience stores. Reaching affordable groceries might require bus fare plus an hour each direction. Daily life has more friction when you're broke. Everything takes longer. Everything costs more effort. And since time converts to money, poverty steals your future earning potential by consuming your present hours.
I know what you're thinking. This is bleak. You're saying the game is rigged and I'm trapped? I hear you. It is bleak. But understanding these mechanics is the only path to escaping them. Standard advice says invest for 8% returns. But if you're struggling, your highest return investment isn't the stock market. It's eliminating the poverty penalties. Credit card debt at 22%? Paying that off is a guaranteed 22% return. No fund manager on earth can promise that. Buying a $60 appliance that lasts instead of replacing the $15 version annually? That's ROI. The first step isn't getting rich, it's stopping the bleeding. The only way to escape the cheap boots cycle is creating a period where you buy no boots so you can save for quality ones. This is why the emergency fund, that first $1,000, isn't boring advice. It's the weapon that destroys the poverty premium. With $1,000 saved, a flat tire becomes an inconvenience, not a crisis that forces you into predatory lending. That $1,000 lets you raise your insurance deductible, lowering monthly premiums. See what happened? Having savings actually reduced your bills. That $1,000 lets you buy bulk, Fix small problems before they become catastrophes. Take the dentist appointment before the cavity becomes a root canal. That first chunk of liquidity is the hardest money you'll ever save and the most powerful. It shifts you from defense to offense. When you finally have a little cash, the temptation is treating yourself. You've been deprived, you want to feel normal. That's the psychological trap. Instead, take that money and solve problems permanently. Quality work boots, reliable tires, the medical appointment you've been postponing. You're not spending, you're buying future freedom, paying off the poverty tax so you never owe it again. Stop asking, can I afford the monthly payment? Start asking, what's the total lifetime cost? Dealerships want you focused on monthly payments because it obscures the real price. You need to focus on total ownership cost. Here's what most people miss. The system depends on your ignorance. Companies budget for your late fees. They count on your overdrafts. They profit from you buying disposable products repeatedly instead of durable ones once. When you start making decisions based on these principles, you become a terrible customer for them and an excellent financial manager for yourself. Channel your frustration at the math. Let it fuel you. Every fee, every penalty, every convenience charge, let that anger drive you toward building your buffer. You're fighting entropy. Your ammunition is liquidity.
Here's the unsexy but effective step. Audit your life for costs caused by being broke. Where are you hemorrhaging money simply because you lack money? High-interest debt, buying single-serve everything, paying PMI, replacing cheap items constantly. Identify your biggest leak. Then ruthlessly cut everything else, temporarily, until you have cash to plug that specific hole. Need $400 to fix your car so it stops guzzling oil? Selling unused stuff or driving deliveries for a weekend isn't just extra income. It's a strategic strike against future expenses. You're buying your way out, one quality purchase at a time. I won't pretend this is fair. Going from $0 to $10,000 requires 10 times the effort of going from $10,000 to $100,000. The wind blows against you at the start. But once you recognize that being broke carries a mathematical penalty, you can stop blaming yourself and start attacking the penalties directly. Stop playing their game. Start playing yours. Buy the boots that last. Build the buffer that protects you. Earn the freedom to reject bad deals. And eventually, walk right out of the trap. If this shifted your perspective, if you realized you've been paying a premium you didn't even know existed, share this with someone who needs it. We don't discuss these mechanics enough. I'm Simple. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.